Now, let's go back to Revelation 12:4. So if Herod desired to go worship this child, now this child is being what? Being born. He's seeking this child. Now let's go back to Revelation 12:4.
Revelation 12, verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child.
To what? Devour her child.
As soon as it was born.
As soon as it was born. So we've identified Shaitan being the dragon, or the prince, and we've identified who? The people of the prince being who? Rome. That's very important. What type of a society and civilization do they say we live in today?
Roman.
Don't they say Roman or Greco-Roman?
Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman. Why?
You still carry a lot of the traits.
Yeah, everything you do is based on the Roman law.
Yeah, everything you do is based around what? Rome. The calendar and everything you use within this system. That's very important because for some reason, we're walking around with our eyes shut like we don't know what's going on and where we stand as a people. So let's go to back to Daniel 9 and 26. We have to keep jumping back and forth to get an understanding of what's going on. Daniel 9 and 26. That's all I can. Go ahead.
Daniel 9, verse 26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary.
Stop right there. And the people of the prince shall what? Come and destroy the what? City and the sanctuary. Because remember, when we first read in Matthew, what it said, when you see Jerusalem what? Comes about with what? Army? What army would it be talking about? Y'all know the history of what was going on in 70 AD. You see the effects and the point of understanding what Rome did and who Rome is and what they're doing? So anytime you go look up the word Rome in any history book, what word is always synonymous and right there beside Rome?
Edom.
Edom. Adomia. It's very important. You figure see how Rome collected with Edom to see how they have established and set up themselves even to this very day. Keep reading up. 96.
Right. And shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and until the end of the war, desolations are determined.
Okay, and shall be with a what? Flood. So what is this flood? Let's go to Psalm 18 and 4. Psalm 18 and 4.
Tehillim or Psalms 18 verse 4. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of unpowerly or unrighteous men made me afraid.
The floods are men or people. Let's go to Isaiah 59 and confirm that. Isaiah 59 and 19.
Yeshayahu or Isaiah 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahuah from the west, and his esteem from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Ruach of Elohim shall lift up standard against him. Shall lift up a standard against him.
So when the enemies come in like what? A flood. Do we really know what happened to Jerusalem when it was sacked? How the armies encompassed Jerusalem? Rome did a number on Jerusalem. Not only that, I mean, just throughout the world pretty much, or the known world at that time. Let's go back to Yahuah, the 24th chapter and the 15th verse.
Can you repeat that, Eliel?
Matthew 24 and 15.
Matthew 24 verse 15. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the set apart place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
So he shall what? Read it, let him understand. Because at this time, when you see the abomination of desolation, what will be the condition of Jerusalem? What's going to be going on in Jerusalem? Because he just told it's going to be encompassed by what? By armies. So we've been reading about the abomination of desolation. And a lot of times we put so much focus on what's taking place in the city, or not so much in the city, or in Jerusalem, or in the temple, because we always read about the temple and what was going to happen there. But is he talking about the temple? Because for there to be desolation in the temple, where would someone need to be? In the temple. But let's read something right quick. Let's go to Zechariah 8 and 3. Zechariah 8 and 3.
Zechariah or Zechariah 8 verse 3. Thus saith Yahuah, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of Yahuah of hosts.
Jerusalem shall be what? Called what? The city of truth, and the what? Mountain of Yahuah. So our focal point is not just on the temple. It's Jerusalem as a whole. Now, when we read that about the armies, it said Jerusalem would be what? Somebody said, Jerusalem shall be encompassed. Accomplished what? With armies. So armies would do what? Surround Jerusalem. The holy what? Or the mountain of Yahuah and city of what? What would make Jerusalem the mountain of Yahuah and city of truth?
People that live in there? Or that would Yahuah put his name?
That's where Yahuah put his name, and what's more important? What's the most important thing has to do with Jerusalem and the people? What is his whole covenant, the whole book established upon? Law, statutes, and what?
Commandments.
And commandments. Now remember, Jerusalem is encompassed or surrounded. by these armies. So, if Jerusalem is surrounded by armies, guess what they can't do?
Enter.
Say it again.
Enter.
Enter, and guess what else they can't do?
Yeah.
Can't get out. You can't enter, and you can't exit. Now, let's go look at something, what happened when the gates of Jerusalem were closed. Let's go to Nehemiah 13 and 19.
Nehemiah 13, verse 19. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Shabbat, I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged, that they should not be opened till after the Shabbat. And some of my servants set eyes at the gates, that there shall no burden be brought in on the Shabbat day.
Keep reading.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware large without Jerusalem once or twice.
Okay, then so what is this giving us a picture of right here? The gates of Jerusalem were what? Closed or shut. Remember, brothers, they're saying now, with this Jerusalem being encompassed or surrounded by the armies, no one can what? Get out, or no one can come in. So you have the same thing going on right here. The gates of Jerusalem were closed or shut. But it says, so the merchants and the what? The merchants and the sellers could not do what? They couldn't come in to sell. If they couldn't come in to sell, guess what? The people in Jerusalem couldn't do what? They couldn't buy. Now, all of this is giving you a picture of something. Let's go to Revelation the 13th. Because remember, all of this is taking place with what nation of people? Yashra'al. And who has Yashra'al in this position right now? Rome. Revelation 13 and 17.
Revelation 13, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
Go up one verse before that.
Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Okay then. Read that one more time. Pay very close attention to what was said.
Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So what's the number of his name?
666.
666. 666. Surrounded by Rome at that time, they couldn't buy, they couldn't sell. Because the gates were what? Closed. So, we get a picture in Revelation that's going to come a time that what? You won't be able to do what? Buy or sell unless what? You have the mark and the which is of the we call the mark of the what?
Beast.
So who is this beast? Oh, they.
It's the system.
Huh?
The system. The Roman system.
Yeah, it's Rome.
Oh.
And later, as a matter of fact, later on we're gonna, matter of fact, let's do these calculations right quick. Not you, because you got, he couldn't read, something can. Okay, that brother Peter, you got your calculator on your phone?
Yes, sir.
So we did a lesson earlier about, I think Zarla Campbell talking about a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? When we were talking about why we don't use certain words like Messiah,
Right.
Jesus, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were showing how in Hebrew, when you calculate these things, they give you a certain number. So we were showing, like dealing with the Hebrew grammar and all that, that if you take the number 9 and multiply it by the place value of each letter in these words that we come to know, and add it up, you get a certain number. So we'll do, for example, Jesus. The letter J sits at what position in the English alphabet?
10.
10. So you just gonna add, bro.
Alright.
So 9 times 10 is what? 90. The letter E sits in what position?
4.
So 9 times 5 is what? 45. Somebody be doing S.
23. Or not 20.
9 times what?
18.
It's 18? You sure? Okay then. 9 times 19.
171.
Okay. You adding all these I'm gonna give you?
Yeah.
Well, how come we adding 9? Why? Why you multiplying it by 9?
Okay, I'm gonna get your whole thing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Has someone done you already?
21.
Huh?
21.
21 times 9?
188.
You said what?
188.
188?
198. 189, excuse me. 21 times 9.
Yeah, get that number right.
21 times 9 is 189.
Okay, 189.
And then S.
Then S again.
S is 19, 171. So we add them all. 90 plus 45 plus 171 plus 189 plus 171. 666.
Say it louder, bro. Say it louder.
666.
You get 666. If you do the same thing for Messiah, which we're not fit to do because it'll take y'all too long to add them. Okay. You get 666. You do the same thing for gospel, you get 666.
Yes.
You do the same thing for Lucifer,
Right.
you get 666. So who is the prince? Hashatan, also called a dragon. Who is the people of the prince? Rome. Who gave you Jesus? Rome. Go ahead.
Revelation 13:11, that looks like it's a prophecy for Jesus Christ too, because it say he has 2 horns like the lion, but they as a dragon. They always use Jesus Christ to say that the law is done away with.
Right.
Sin and
Oh, we're going to get to that. I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but we're going to get to it because I know I got it right here, though.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah, because we then we got what it say right there?
Like the dragon.
Expect like the dragon. We'll get to it because Okay, let's keep going. Oh, my bad. Okay, so matter of fact, keep that man by himself. Let's go to 13 and 11. Revelation 13 and 11.
And what was the reason for using 9 again?
Because it's represented by the Tet in Hebrew, which would consider the number of eternal righteousness. So 9, anytime you multiply 9 times those, the value of the English language, of the letters in the alphabet, English alphabet, you come up with those numbers, you add them up, and it's not a coincidence that you get 666 for all of these words. Words that you've been commonly known to call gospel, Lucifer, what else? Jesus, Messiah. So, Revelations 13 and 11.
Revelation 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Okay then. It says he has 2 horns what? Like a lamb. So this particular beast is going to come looking and appearing like what? The truth. And he has 2 horns. Anybody know what the horns represent? Let's go to Habakkuk 3 and 4. Habakkuk 3 and 4.
Habakkuk 3, verse 4. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power.
He had what coming out of his hand? Horns. And what did it say after the horns?
And there was the hiding of his power.
There was the hiding of his what? His power. The horns just represent power. So whenever you have this beast has to have what? Power. Let's go to Daniel 7 and 17.
Daniel 7, verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
These great beasts are what? 4 kings which shall what? Rise out of the earth. Let's go to Daniel 7, 2 and 3.
Say again.
Daniel 7, verse 2 and 3.
Daniel 7, verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of heaven strove upon the sea, and 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So is this sea that we're speaking of here, is it a literal sea? It's not. Let's go to Revelation 17 and 15. And we're going to see what these sea, because sea just symbolic to what? Or it just represents water. But water prophetically always speaks of something else.